What is up, team? Chuck with Traders War Room, and I'm back at you with another video. Listen, this is your Sunday motivator, and man, do I got a great video for you. But right now, hit that like, share, and subscribe button, man. I need you to come along with us on the journey. Check the description tab, man. Everything covered in the video and all the links to our social media platforms are right there for you guys to get spun up on, man. If you guys haven't got onto those, you're doing yourself a disservice. We're making money and educating the masses, so make sure you come along. Now, if that sounds good and you're ready to get started with this video, all I need from you is to follow me and let's go to war. Traders War Room wants to remind the viewer that all content on this channel are for education and entertainment purposes only. You are responsible for every move you make in the stock market. Have fun, tread cautiously, but definitely go to war and let's get it. All right, team, you know how we rock it, man. We got the Buzz Report coming at you, and we're going to talk about what's hot and what's not in the stock market. All right, and we start off with IPOs. Now, take a look at the IPOs. Do your own DD and check out the tickers. But listen, my advice on IPOs stands firm. It is very volatile. You need to have caution when you go into any IPOs. Just take a look at Hood, for example, all right? Things go nuts, they spike up, they drop off, and you can never really tell where the price is going to be at until it settles down a little bit. So I like to get into IPOs if I see an opportunity to make some real good money quick on the fast. But ultimately, my caution lies with wait until the stock itself kind of settles down, and then you can see a true value of the stock, usually about 30 to 60 days after the IPO. So definitely caution before getting into them, but here's your list. All right, your top headliner stories. If you're nervous about the stock market at record high, consider these 5 companies that are loved by smart money. Now listen, I want to just hit on this real quick. Sentiment in the marketplace is mixed, okay? You got people that think, you know, we're on to record highs and it's just going to continue. You got other people that think we're hitting a melting point. Now, I want to re-hit on the melting point theory, okay? Now, if you believe in this, cool. If not, research it. Definitely need to understand and be aware of this. But a melting point is that we keep going up. Think of a volcano, okay, until it erupts, right? And that's the peak where it's just going to be peak. And then all the ashes fall to the ground. That's the drop, all right? If you think of those terms, you can kind of understand. That's what some theories, if you buy into the melting point, think that's going to happen. We're just going to continue peak, and then it's going to be a drastic decline, a recession, you know, a crash, things of that nature. I don't know, but definitely be cautious in a volatile market. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, Afghanistan president flees countries as the Taliban move in Kabul. Now, real quick, I'm a soldier, so this concerns me, but I'm not going to get political. I want you to guys think about drones and defense contractors, okay? We're not putting boots on ground unless we go all-out war, but we need to know what the enemy's doing. So we're talking about cybersecurity, we're talking about drones, eyes in the skies, we're talking about defense contracting, making all that future tech stuff and putting it over there so we know what's going on, we monitor the situation, and we can make sure that it doesn't get out of hand, and if it gets out of hand, we can put action and implementations of this tech into play. So I'm going to give you guys some of the drones and some of the defense contractor stocks at the end of this video, but definitely keep your eyes in the skies. And on that melting point thing, definitely follow the smart money, okay? Money and rotating stocks and things of that nature happen all the time. Good idea is always to follow the smart money because they have a little bit more knowledge and insider information than we do. All right, now let's go ahead and see how the market did last week and try to get our game plan going into this week. Here's a list of those drone stocks I was telling you about. Man, all of these have their hands in the cookie jar when it comes to drones. Some of them more than others, but these are all good candidates and to watch, especially with the future of drones coming. These are those aerospace and defense contractors, man. Look at all those. A lot of these companies are big boys and big players, okay? And they all got their hands once again in the cookie jar when it comes to defense and the aerospace area. Some of them kind of correlate along with drones and things of that nature, but all of them should be on your radar, especially with this Afghanistan stuff going on. Your 5-day sector performance, we see that materials, consumer staples, and financials were up big on the 5-day, and we got energy, real estate, and consumer discretionaries were on the lower tier of that. Now, I want you guys to understand, we got to look at the 5-day and sometimes even the 10-day, because a lot of these indexes and sectors that were down last week will be up this week because they got, new 52-week lows, there were some sell-offs, things of that nature, and they're bouncing off of whatever support that they have, and we might see some increase. So definitely pay attention when you're looking into sectors and the individual stocks within those sectors. Now I'm using Fidelity for this. Fidelity is one of the major brokers out there, okay? These are orders filled by Fidelity customers as of 4 p.m. on Friday, okay? Pay attention. Wish, you got a little bit more green than red. SoFi, more green than red. AMC, a little bit, maybe 50-50. Myrna, 50-50. Disney, more selling than buying. Tesla, 50-50. AMD, about 50-50. Apple, 50-50. SPRT, 50-50. And SESN. Now remember, if you just go back to a couple slides a second ago, that was a big loser last week, so pay attention to SESN. It might move up just a little bit, but all we need is to capture a little bit of movement in order to make some big gains if we're going into some day trading and some option day trading. And we thank our options fan bot through the Discord for giving us total premium calls versus puts. Take a look at the top names, all right? You got Tesla, you got Amazon, SPY, all of them, man. Pay attention to these because this can give you an indication of what direction at the opening bell that these companies will go. All right, we got our Tendies index, okay? Pay attention to these. These are a favorite of the Reddit subreddit group of the Wall Street bets and things of that nature. But these Tendies indexes, man, a lot of times these things move and they move quick, okay? So we see a lot of Myrna, we see a lot of BNTX, we see Crowd. A lot of the trending stocks are on these Tendies, okay? So pay attention to these. And these are your top IV with premium over 25K, okay? We want to pay attention to these because these are going to have a lot of the volume, a lot of big money. These are the ones that'll move sharply up and down and can give us that good money on our calls and puts, okay? We see Lucid is up there, SESN, we see SPRT. So a lot of the same thing. We got Wish, Apple, a lot of these trending stocks are on here with the top IVs and premium over 25K. So you need to pay attention to volume and IV, especially when you're looking into options and day trading and swing trading short term, because those are the ones that are going to move either up or down and make us our big money as long as we get in the right direction at the right time. All right, and it's Sunday, and you know how we rock on Sundays, right? We got our watching and our earnings report, okay? Some of these are going to pop, some of them are not, but definitely you know how I like to do on earnings, okay? We got to pay attention to the stock. We got to do our DD, and a lot of times it's buy the rumor, sell the news, and then if it's great news and after the sell-off, you can get in at a really good price on the dip, okay? So let's get into a couple of the stocks, and we're going to talk about the earnings and see what we got coming on this week. All right, and we got our most anticipated earnings release August 16th, 2021. Thank you, Earnings Whisper, for providing this. Now, I want you guys to look at these, okay? My idea with earnings is you can't follow every single one, okay? It's just not possible. But pick a couple on each day that's your favorite and pay attention to see what it does. Study the chart, study the movement, study the candles, and look to see for patterns and opportunities to get in on dips so that you can ride them up, or look for peaks so you can ride them down, all right? But we're going to get into some charts. We're going to pick one or two from each of the days, and we're going to break down the charts and see if we see something and can identify a pattern to give us an idea of possibly which direction it's going to go come Monday at the bell. So let's get it. All right, first one up is Rail. Now, they report Monday early, and so they have an implied volatility of 15%. I think Rail is going to go up. I think they're at bottom level support level that they've held for quite a while. I think that they're going to head towards the orange line right there. You see I got a price target of $6.22, and I wouldn't be surprised if they hit that target and they continue up. So I'm going to be looking to put a call option on this play running in this week, and we'll see what happens. Another look at Rail, confirming my bullish sentiment on it. This is the MA lines. Look, it's above the 200, but it's below the 50, and it's right at the 100, okay? Excuse me. It's below the 100 and right at the 50. I think this bounce off of that, and I think we see this going higher. That confirms my bullish tendency. Obviously, we don't know. We'll have to look to see what happens at the market. But moving into this week, I'm bullish for rail. All right, another one that reports on Monday, but I like it. I can't get away from the implied volatility on here, 11.8%. Listen, is Roblox, RBLX. Look at the chart. We're kind of at the midway between the highs and the lows, all right? And so there's a lot of effort to go up or to go down. So we really got to pay attention to this before we can see what type of way it's trending. However, I'm looking at the RSI. We still got room to go up, and the money flow is starting to curl up. So I like this. I'm bullish. I think this is going to go up. I wouldn't be surprised if it dips at first and you can catch it on the bottom and then ride this thing up. But I do believe that we're probably going to see 89.62 or higher at the end of the week, and I like this for calls going into this week. I'm going to show you a chart that gives me another confirmation on why I'm so bullish on this one. And, you know, we'll have to see what happens on Monday at the bell. So when you're looking at this on the inside, on the daily chart, we have an inside bar, right, with majority of the concentration at the top. And what I like about the inside bar is that it finished strong on the closing day of Friday. So moving into Monday, I think this is going to do fairly well. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we dip a little bit and we see maybe at the bell it dumped to maybe $80, maybe $79, something like that. But I think that that would be the reversal point, and then we would see this really coming in heavy with some momentum up. So I like this going into, you know, this week, and so I'm bullish on this, and I'm looking to put calls on this play. All right, next is Target, man. They report on Wednesday. Now look at that chart. It's tough to bet against Target. However, I'm thinking that they're going to pull back a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys come down a little bit and start testing that 255 area. So for me with Target, I'm thinking put. And I'm going to show you why, looking at some indicators, why my mind is thinking that this is going to be a week for a pullback. Now, it's going to be volatile. They got an implied volatility of around like 5.4%, but I'm thinking that these guys are going to pull back this week. At least some point, that'll give us an opportunity to make some money, and probably before they have earnings. So they'll ride up a little bit, and then before the day before they do earnings, they're probably going to pull back. So this is what makes me think a little bearish on this. The RSI, you know, we had a tip and it started going up pretty good towards last week, but now we're kind of on a decline. I'm looking at the daily chart here. Money flow, too, it was high, and now we're starting to go downward, trending down. And with RSI and money flow and the volume's kind of tapering off as well, you know, this is making me think that we're probably going to see a pretty significant dip sometime this week, which we can capitalize. As long as we ride the wave up and we catch it at top, we can ride this down. All right, the last one we're going to do for this earnings week is Macy's, okay? I actually like Macy's going into this week, all right? This one's a tough one to call because I could see it going both ways pretty easy, and we got about the same. We're kind of in the midway, so depending on the sentiment and what I see. Now, they report Thursday, so I wouldn't be surprised if these guys run up, right? And they report Thursday after hours, so I wouldn't be surprised if these guys run up. So if we catch them low on Monday morning, we probably can ride this for about 2 to 3 days before, but I wouldn't hold this going into earnings because I think probably right before the bell, they're going to have a big sell-off waiting on those earnings reports. And then depending on that, we could see it boom on, you know, Friday, or tank on Friday and stay down. So, you know, I'm leaning more towards the bullish side of this one for Monday, and then riding this up, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then selling for profit, whatever it is, towards the end of the closing day on Wednesday. But we'll have to play this by ear. Definitely got my attention, and I'm looking forward to watching Macy's. And this is what I'm concerned with Macy's. You see that yellow circle? That's a gap that needs to be filled. So I wouldn't be surprised if Monday we see a sharp decline down there to fill that gap, and then we see a lot of rush and money coming in to push this back up. So that might be the opportune time. If you see Macy's between $18 and $17, that might be the opportune time to look for that reversal and to ride this thing up for about 2 days going into Wednesday. And in my opinion, I'm going to sell for profit, and I'm not going to hold through earnings because I think that's too risky, especially with what the stock market's been doing lately. Now, I wanted to put a couple other stocks on your radar. Some of these I got in last minute at the bell because I liked what I was seeing and I thought they were low and they would do well this week. But I want to put them on your radar so you guys can follow along if you like and maybe hop in if you please. First one's Pfizer. Man, Pfizer's been killing it, and I like Pfizer going into this week. I think we'll probably have a little bit of pullback because it's had a pretty nice run, but then after we find support, once it pulls back, it'll be onward and upward from there. Wish took a nosedive, man, after earnings, and their CEO was talking about it doesn't have future growth or it's slowing. They don't know kind of what's going on with the future, but their logistics is sound and things of that nature. So he didn't make his shareholders kind of feel confident in it, but it had a nice little bounce back on Friday, and I like Wish going in. I think Wish is a great company, long-term investment, and right now, anything under $10, I've said before, is a good place to start getting your position. And here at 750 would be a nice area to start building that position out, in my opinion. Best Buy, man. Best Buy hit some low areas on Friday, and I dug up on them, all right? I put a call option out for 2 weeks on these guys, man. I like Best Buy going into this week and near future. I think it's going to do fairly well. Another one I picked up at the bell on Friday was Bed Bath & Beyond. At this level, I think it's onward and upward for this company too. It could pull back a little bit, but I'm pretty confident in BY, and I think they're going to do well this week. And you know, we couldn't finish out the video without talking about AMC. Look at that chart, making higher highs and higher lows on the way up. AMC is a tricky one because you just never know. However, I want you guys to look up Volkswagen, okay? Look up their stock chart and go back in history when they hit their squeeze. And I want you to compare their chart with AMC's chart and then drop me a comment or hit me up on DM on the Discord or Facebook. But I like these guys going into this week and the near future. I'm an ANC, lover, man. I've been in since about $7, and it's diamond hands over here. So definitely watching AMC. All right, and so wrapping up the video, we have our TWR thing we do on Sundays, and it's the stock of the week. This time, I'm doing a viewer's choice, which I think moving forward, I'm going to continue doing. So if you got a stock you want me to break down and chop up, send me a message, hit me a comment on YouTube, or just DM me on Discord or Facebook, man. I'll get to it. So let's talk about the stock of the week, and we're talking about CleanSpark, ticker CLSK. Now, inside the description is the website, so you can go and do your own DD. But man, we're going to hit up real quick because when we dig into these, we could spend all day talking about these stocks. But we're just going to hit it up and get through it, and then you guys can do your own research. So off top, their advanced microgrid software controls technology solutions company focused on solving modern energy challenges. They're real big on resiliency and economic optimization, and they have a bunch of offers through residential energy solutions, energy controls, open ADR certification, Bitcoin mining and data center, which is huge because with the big push for getting these mining rigs to be pushing out cleaner energy, and innovation consulting services, which I could see being really big for those huge institutional and those bigger industries. So these are the solutions that they're really highlighting in marketing. You can see them right there: microgrid controller, open door solutions, switchgear, residential, Bitcoin, and case studies. So the investor relations, they're real big on enhancing shareholders' value, not just through business performance and practices, but through communication with its shareholders. And they are taking note that the global economy faces aging electrical utility grid issues, which are super old and outdated, and they want to try to fix that and optimize it so that the technology is utilized in the best way possible for cleaner energy and better energy. And you can see that the microgrid market opportunity is going to look at an experiencing 28% compound annual growth from 2020 to 2029. And we're probably going to start seeing that boom within the next 3 to 5 years with the clean energy and EV boom kind of correlating. And one thing I really want to hit up on about the future of energy management is that CLSK is really trying to optimize it so that they have multiple platforms that they can be used for, through residential, through government, through industrial, so they're not just a one shop or one size fits all. They got many different platforms and many different uses so that multiple marketplaces can use their technology. And putting it simply, why CleanSpark? Well, they're telling you it's increasing revenues, capital hand over hand, leading edge technology. They got a track record. They're top 10 on strong reputation and strategic alliances within key marketplace participants. So now looking at the chart, anytime you look at a chart, you want to see where it's been and where it's going and what it's done. So we could blow it out a long way, and we're looking at a whole bunch of big, huge level of support and resistance, and we got our inner support and resistance. Now I want you to focus on those orange ones. Okay, there's a huge consolidation of funds between the $31 and $26 range. Now we're not quite there yet. We're at $13.92, and I definitely could see us pulling back a little bit, but depending on what these earnings will do and depending on the sentiment, we could definitely see ourselves going above 16.18. And if we are able to exceed that and hold that, I see no reason why we can't travel back up to $20. So definitely got my attention come to market bell on Monday. These are just some indicators that I like to use when I'm looking at charts, and we see the RSI is at 45, so room to grow. We got money flow coming in. The AO is green on its way, looking like it's starting to trend upwards, and the MACD looks like it's curling up and crossing, and our volume's pretty much been staying pretty close in range. Here's some demographics. Now, I don't really want to focus on this too much, but I do want you guys to see the shares outstanding, 34 million, and it had a 52-week low of 692, so we do have some room that we could dip down, and I don't think we're going to see the 52-week high of 4260 anytime soon. Definitely, I think in the future, yes, but we got a lot of ground to cover before we get to that zone again. And it looks like earnings are on August 16th. So anytime you're looking at a company to invest long in, you got to look at the business data, okay? And we noticed in Q2 results, they're 121% year over year. We got the net income, 227% year over year, so not too bad over there. Profitability, uptrending on each spectrum. Operation capability, going down, downtrending. Debt paying, you can see the top debt to assets, 3.04% year over year, minus 93.09, and we see current ratio 24.31, and it's at 1,247 year over year. Always also want to look at the press, see if it got any PR coming out, but nothing recent, so definitely some PR could help boost this and provide a catalyst for some upward momentum. And we see that it's in an industry that's been beat up recently, okay? Renewable energy and equipment and services. This industry has been beat up and has wreaked havoc on it. And a lot of it's because they're waiting on the infrastructure bill to get passed so they can see where the money from the Fed is going to be allocated. So definitely it's kind of a wait and play and a slowly, dripping away. And I got a feeling that once we got the infrastructure bill passed and signed, we're going to see some of these companies rolling hard, especially the ones that are getting a big chunk of the money. And this is always good to see when you got institutions buying into it. So they're up 8.3% in 1 month and only down 0.15% in insiders. And 61% others, that's the retail investors, own this. And you got corporations owning 3.55%. And that's CleanSpark, guys. So do your own DD, make a decision. But for me, it looks like definitely a candidate to go long on and hold. But don't get into this in a big position unless you're ready to hold for at least a year to 3 years until the EV boom and the clean energy boom hits. And I wanted to give you guys a list of some zero carbon crypto things that it got their hands in the cookie jar when it comes to crypto and zero carbon and clean energy, things of that. So check these guys out too when you're looking for things in this particular industry. All right, team, now that's the video. Listen, this was a little longer than normal, but we had that stock of the week and we had to break it down. So I hope you guys got something out of that. You're looking at the stocks for earnings. Definitely got a lot of charts and a lot of stocks for you guys to, go through and pick out a couple of your favorites and follow them this week. Listen, remember at Traders War Room, we look at the stock market like it's a war zone. Stocks and sectors, those are our battles. We do it together as a team. Attack, conquer, and destroy. That's what we do, all right? Now, we're not here just to make money. That's always a plus, but we're also here to gain more experience and share our knowledge as a community, all right? Now, if that sounds good, hit the description tab, go through, look at everything in the videos there. All the social media platforms are there. And if you're ready, follow me and let's go to war.